Hello, welcome back. This is Tara. Um, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm long-winded, so if you don't like long-form content, this is probably not the channel for you. And I don't script it, so that's the kind of thing. Just so you know, I just want to give you a heads up. There's nothing wrong with it. Some people hate it. I don't. Um, so I wanted to talk about. Oh, let me write it down before I forget. All right, I did. I want to talk about a couple of things today. So, if you are new to the channel, my name is Tara. I'm 54 years old. I come here pretty much every day, sometimes every other day, sometimes twice a day, to talk about my life, talk about things I'm learning, and talk about my way of eating. I am on a mission in my life to really become super healthy and super happy and satiated and abundant, like in every way. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. Hopefully, I'm loud enough. I have my microphone right over here. I don't. Sometimes I wear it here, but I don't really like it there because I feel like when I cough, it's right in the like low, and like if my hair rubs on it, I don't like it. So welcome to the channel. Um, I've got quite a bit to talk about. I wrote down some things. That's nice, right? Actually, have some like points that I wanted to bring up, which is great. Um, Today's been a really good day, just in general. I had a huge breakfast. Well, not huge. It wasn't huge in carnivore standards, but it was big to a lot of people that eat a standard American diet. They would be like, "What?" However, I probably, like, well, I know I crushed it. So I had six scrambled eggs. I put a little bit of the cheese that I had made homemade, and I cooked that in olive oil. And after I cooked it in olive oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, I put 2 tablespoons of butter on top, seasoned it with salt and pepper, sat down and loved it. I was just like, it, me and eggs lately have been kind of like, whatever, you know. I do get my eggs in a lot of ways. I make carnivore ice cream. That's in there. Eggs are a major part of that. So I am getting my eggs. I just to sit down to it sometimes it's like, Today I did, and it was wonderful. Um, there was nothing missing. I'm really excited to try my cured bacon though. Can't wait. And I actually am doing like a pork dinner. I have chopped meat out, and I thought it was going to be defrosted by now, but it's not. So I thought I was going to have hamburgers for dinner, but it looks like I'm having breakfast sausage. So that's on the stove right now, low heat, with some extra lard in it, and salt, pepper, crushed red pepper, and onion powder. Um, and I have some pork in the oven that I'm trying to render down a little bit because I want to have like homemade cracklings or homemade chicharrones. So I'm gonna get some of the fat off of it. Then I'm gonna put it on a what I cook my bacon on and see if I can get it to come around, or I'll put it in a cast iron and fry it. Anyway, um, I bought another 8 pack of this. I left it in the car though. Shame, shame. I did have a Diet Coke today. If you've been here before, you know that that's something that I need to let go of, but I only had one. And I took Fancy for a nice ride down the dirt roads, and it was beautiful. Feels like fall. It was supposed to snow last night. It didn't, thank goodness, but it rained, and the river is running hardcore. And so that's that. I think it did snow in New Hampshire up on Mount Washington, but it always snows there. That place is cold. That mountain is crazy. It's the highest winds in the United States. is on that mountain, and they close the road at the end of September. Like you can't drive up there. You go up there. There's I don't know even how people do go and ski it, but they're on their own. It's dangerous. So anyway, on with that. Um, so I watched two different videos today concerning carnivore and ketogenic style eating. And so let me start with Carnivore Claire. Now, she is awesome. I'm not sure where she's from. She, I don't know. Her accent is super crisp and clean. So I can't tell if she's Irish or English. You can't determine it just from her accent. And I'm kind of like one of those people that dig those accents. And even like slang she uses, it's really hard to pinpoint where she's from. So she's from the UK somewhere. All right. And she's really great. And she discussed she's lost 135 pounds so far. And I think that's it. Pretty sure she's at her goal weight. Um, she started I can't remember. I haven't watched her a lot. But people have been saying Carnivore Claire, go check her out. So I did today, and she wanted to talk about OMAD. Now, OMAD is 1 meal a day. That's what it means. There are people that OMAD with a traditional diet. There are people that OMAD. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. To OMAD vegan, I don't think it's possible. Because no matter how much you eat, you're going to be hungry. I don't know. But I do know that people do it because I used to do it all the time with traditional American diet. Does it work for a traditional American diet? Not that I noticed. Um, don't know. I mean, it'd be long enough ago, really. So, let me have a sip. She talked about something that oftentimes in the keto carnivore um, podcast realm, I don't like to say influencers because I think that's like a fake name. Um, it's just people getting on YouTube and talking about what they think they know, talking about what they've experienced, and sometimes offering up a product. I like them all. I even like Steak and Butter Girl. I like Dr. Barry. I like Berg. I like, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Dr. Bright, I think is her name. I love Zero Carb Life, which is, oh no, the brain. Kelly. I like her a lot. I really like her. She's just like somebody I'd want to be friends with. Got me. Um, there is a gentleman that I like, and he is a doctor. He's Chaffee, Dr. Chaffee. Look at that. I opened the page and there it is. Dr. Chaffee. Um, and the other guy from Florida, he's a really big dude. I can't remember his name. He mumbles when he's talking. He's like, blah, blah, blah. I like him too. There's a lot of people out there that do this, and Carnivore Claire is one of them, and I think she's worth going and listening to. Today was my first time sitting on a full video of hers because even though I make long form content, even though I'm not structured, except for like little notes like that. Maybe in the future I'll get more structured. Um, Sometimes I skip off a video. Sometimes I let him play. Sometimes, So I am not going to get mad at you if you don't hang out for the whole thing. But oftentimes, if you wait till the end, that's where the juice comes in. It's the last 2 minutes. Like yesterday, I actually went to Movie Maker or iMovie and clipped out that last 2 minutes so I could make that a short because I didn't want people to not catch that message. And I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't really catch it all because in Movie Maker I can't slide the time to the exact time. I've got to test it. That's a pain in the ass. So if you know of a video editor that's either free or close to it, please let me know. Because I really would like to have easier product for you to watch. So here we go again. Carnivore Claire is excellent at this, by the way. And she talked about OMAD and how she had been carnivore for a while and wasn't losing weight at all. And I was like, holy shit. Okay. And I've seen and heard of that, but just not often. Um, and she talks about the things that happen. And one of the things that she brought up that I think is really important and I want to talk about, because I don't know an awful lot about this, because I do get that ick feeling when people say calories. She says that, like it or not, they actually matter. So if you're trying to lose weight, whether you're carnivore or not, calorie restriction is a thing. No, that I don't like that. Of course, I don't like that. What I'm curious about, and I did ask under her video, maybe I'll go into her Facebook group and ask this question, like, where do you find a chart? I'd like to know one to go by. That's not the traditional American Standard Diet chart, because those charts are telling me that I got to starve myself to death, and that's not going to happen. It's just not, you know. OMAD though, I could see doing for sure. As a matter of fact, probably should. But first things first. I am not in any way stretching or doing anything so dramatic that I turn away from what I'm doing. So calories matter. So she does a 70-30 ratio, 70% fat, 30% protein. Um, I'd really probably like to see an 80-20 for myself. But so I opened up my little macro app today and punched in what I had. If you have a good app that you like to track your macros, especially if you're OMAD, hook me up. I want to know. I don't really like this one. I liked my Fitness Pal a lot back when I was keto, even though it was constantly telling me I was going to die. I could make my own macros. I could cook something and put the recipe in and have my own macros. This one you have to be pro. So I don't love it very much, but it's easy. So that's something. So if you know about where to find out about how many calories you should be ingesting, like I understand the protein. I should have as many grams of protein as my goal weight. So I should never go over 120 grams of protein. And then I just do the calculation for the fat. And on my little thing, it shows me where I'm at um, with that. So, and carbs are like non existent in my life. So that's not really a big focus. So if you know about calories, hook a girl up, talk about it in the comments. Or if you don't and you just want to go discover it, put in that search bar calories for carnivores. Like I'm going to do that myself. So maybe tomorrow I'll come back at you with some more information. Um, Today I did do the vibration plate for 10 minutes after I ate. So after I eat dinner tonight, I'm going to do it again. And it didn't hurt. I did it really low, but I wanted to make sure because making the activity after you eat is a good idea, and I want to do the right things. Um, that's it for that part. Second part is I went on Zero Carb Life, which was like the first time I've ever caught a really fresh video of hers. Oh, my back. I gotta stop slouching. I just felt like. And she had on a gentleman that was a real estate investor. He was doing flipping of houses and whatnot, and had learned about, really great way to make money with real estate is assisted living. And I was like, oh, but we need more people like him in assisted living. So he decided he was going to go for it, and he moved himself down to Arizona. He bought, I think he has a 4 or 6 assisted living and memory care facilities. And instead of being like the majority of those assisted, I would say 98% of them, where the sicker the person is, the more money you make. The thing, I think it should be illegal. He went the moral route. He's a Christian and he believes in God, and he went the moral route. And eventually was like, what's going on here? And introduced, in the beginning, he introduced a vegan chef. It was very difficult, and people weren't happy, and nobody was getting any better. So he learned about getting into a ketogenic um, diet and having a ketogenic lifestyle, and he went full force into that. And he hired a ketogenic dietitianist. He found somebody that does a bunch of. They're really good at translating traditional food into a keto food, and she writes a bunch of cookbooks. And so they hired cooks, they trained them, and those are the cookbooks they use. And they started seeing tremendous things, like people going home, people losing weight, people coming off medications. Um, and one major thing was Alzheimer's, dementia, and sundown. So that hits home because my mother, in the midst of her emergency, that where the state decided they were going to steal her and kill her as fast as they could, that's where I discovered that she had sundowners, and no one had diagnosed it. It was so fucked up. And do you want to know how he cured sundown? He didn't cure anything. He introduced a lifestyle to the people. And luckily, he was able to get away with it because all you have to do is post what you're feeding people. It's just so they know what they're going to get to eat. You don't have to do anything else because some evil doctor would have jumped in, I'm sure. If he had partners, he might have had problems. The first thing that he did with the sundowners, well, not the first thing, one of the first thing in the day that happens is within an hour of sunrise, everybody goes outside. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Everybody goes out. He said within weeks, there were sundowners did not happen. And if you understand that, as soon as the sun hits, like, people get really upset and the anxiety is overwhelming and they lose it. And it's really awful. And my mom had it and I didn't know what it was. Nobody told me anything. Nobody diagnosed her. It would have been very different. If I had even known that she had it, I would have researched that a lot. So sundowners is a circadian rhythm thing. So when they kidnapped my mother and put her in an institution, they overloaded her with as much Ativan as they felt like giving her. It was bad. I'm surprised she didn't die right away in that first week. I tried to save her. I tried. They she was passed out. They just leave her in bed. They put a catheter in her. What the fuck? Oh, so that really got me thinking. Because I've seen people that have like assisted living facilities, and they've created a place that actually it doesn't look like that horrible. hospital look that, where people actually have little front porches and shit like that they come sit out and hang out and talk to their neighbors and talk to people walking by. And the I can't I have to look him up, but he has the whole place set up like a little town. And so the the results are just really great. And he's actually cheaper for people that have to use those kind of facilities than regular facilities. This guy is also cheaper, and his goal is to get people to go home. He'd rather see somebody be welcomed back into their home on their own than get sicker because he gets more money for it. He basically said, as I get better at what I do, they reduce the money. And he doesn't give a shit as far as like the programs that people need to use to come into these places. So I never want to see a place like that. And if I ever had to, I would hope it'd be his. And I want you to think about that. If you've got an aging adult parent, somebody that you really care about, and they're near you, and you know maybe you're actually taking care of them, maybe you're the caretaker. I want you to really consider researching ketogenic diets, carnivore, and circadian rhythms, and start applying those things. One of the things that they talked about is the sugar, which is just like drinking whiskey all day. Um, that older people really want that, and a lot of people feel like, well, let them just enjoy it. They're not enjoying it. They're getting a dopamine hit. It's completely fake. They're not enjoying not being able to go to the bathroom by themselves. They're not enjoying being on 15 medications. They're not enjoying losing their mind. They're not enjoying it. That's a lie. Okay? If you are taking care of somebody that is aging and they've got issues and they need you, start. If they insist on sweets, make carnivore or ketovore sweets. You can still enjoy dessert without killing yourself and destroying your quality of life. So, if you've gotten to the point where you are thinking of a ketogenic or a carnivore lifestyle, there's a lot of details and a lot of ins and outs about these things. I really hope that you come to it for total health and that weight loss is just going to be a side effect that you're going to love. If you're coming to it for weight loss right away, then I really want you to consider OMAD right away. Okay? If you are coming into this for just improving your entire life, just come into it, be intuitive, okay? And then as you go through the process, if you've got yourself in ketosis and you are experiencing fat burning energy and your pain is going down, you're more likely to stick in this and maybe alter certain things that you do. Maybe you toss out some dairy. Maybe dairy isn't a problem for you. Maybe you go OMAD. Maybe you restrict your calories. But first things first is please get in here. Do it. Okay? And if you're coming in for weight loss and you're going to need that visual surface level results, if it gets you in here and keeps you in here, then consider OMAD. Definitely do your research on calories and consider OMAD, or intermittent fasting or dry fasting. I think I talked about the dry fasting yesterday. 12 hours a day, no water, no food. OMAD is only 1 hour of eating, all your daily calories in that hour, and nothing but water the rest of the day for 23 hours. Some people need to go 2 hours. I don't know. I think I want to first, for me, is do the 12-hour dry fast. And I'm really shocked that I'm even talking about dry fasting because I never thought for sure. I never thought that would be something that'd be good for you. And I fasted. And people always say dry fasting is bad. Even the people that fasted a lot. I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only. But I would definitely consider, and I think that's the first step as I'll take, is the 12-hour fast, where when I go to bed, I don't eat or drink anything until that 12 hours is hit from when I went to bed. I'm going to give it a shot. So, anyway, I got to go check on the food and see what's up. I didn't want to have pork for dinner tonight, but it looks like I am. And I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you long time. And again, if you know of a good, free, or close to free app I could put on my phone or my computer that can edit my videos in to make them more palatable and enjoyable, I would love that. Also, if you have a good macro counter, I would love that a lot. And if you also know of a chart that considers ketogenic and carnivore living for a calorie guideline, I would like that. So I'm out of here. I thank you so much. I think I'm alone in the house for the weekend. Wonder if anyone's going to mow. We've mowed once. I, the grass is so tall, I can't even pick my own dog shit up. It's freaking me out. But that's okay. I'm not going to let myself get aggravated because soon I will have exactly what it is I want, and that'll be that. So, with that being said, I love you long time, and I'll see you later or tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. Thank you so much. Bye.